What's going on, guys? Schmidt here. Welcome back to another video. Happy May 22nd, aka the 10th year anniversary that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was revealed. That's right, it may not seem like it, but 10 years ago on this day, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for the first time was revealed to the world. A lot of people have been hoping for the same thing, kind of to honor the 10-year anniversary of Modern Warfare 2, to reveal Modern Warfare 4 on the exact same day 10 years later. As we're about most way through the day, doesn't look like we're going to be getting that, although it would have been pretty cool. But staying in line with the Modern Warfare 4 reveal, I want to talk about what I want to see out of the first reveal, out of the first trailer, the things that I want to see that are going to win me over. And while this isn't going to be something that's the end-all sale for the game necessarily, I feel like it's a pretty big part for video games for when they put out their first trailer, their first reveal. Getting that first good impression can be very big for video games. Now, for Call of Duty, it's got enough of a track record that a lot of people are going to take part in the game regardless if the first trailer is the best thing they've ever seen or not. But today, I want to talk about the things that I wanted to see that would immediately win me over and get me hyped. Now, if you're a big enough Call of Duty fan, you're probably going to get excited and be hyped just to see it regardless. But even with that, it seems like, at least a lot of years, there seems to be some kind of controversy with the reveal of a new Call of Duty. In fact, I think the only times that I can remember, at least as of recently, that I haven't seen a ton of controversy following a reveal were Call of Duty Ghosts and Call of Duty World War II. Those are the only two Call of Duties that once they were revealed that I saw like a vast majority of positive feedback and just overall a ton of hype for the game. And funny enough, those two games largely get looked back on now as two of the least popular Call of Duties and two that kind of are a lot of people's least favorite. But either way, like I was saying, it seems like every other year we get some kind of controversy. Of course, when we went through the Advanced Movement era, there were people that liked it and didn't, and liked parts about the future aspect and didn't like other parts. And even as we saw last year with Black Ops 4, the return of a lot of the specialists and a large look at what looked to be a pretty similar era to the one we saw in Black Ops 3. It wasn't exactly what people were hoping for, but in terms of Call of Duty Ghosts and Call of Duty World War II, those were two games that came out and were exactly what people were looking for at the time. A lot of people had hoped for Modern Warfare 4 in 2013 from Infinity Ward, but a brand new subgenre to the franchise that kind of brought a lot of similar aspects from the Modern Warfare series in Call of Duty Ghosts was something that kept a lot of the hype going. And I mean, after 4 really big years for Call of Duty from Modern Warfare 2 through Black Ops 2, having another game that looked really solid at its reveal brought a lot of hype. And of course, when Call of Duty World War II came out, that game came out after all the Advanced Movement era and all the futuristic stuff that a lot of people were ready to see go by the wayside. And since we hadn't had a World War II game at the time in about 9 years, a lot of people were hoping that we would go back to that era, which is exactly what happened. And so when that trailer came out, when that reveal happened for World War II, there was a ton of hype. It seemed like everybody and their mother was excited to go back to that era. And overall, as a Call of Duty fan, it's exciting to see when everybody's all hyped about the game and there's not a ton of controversy going back and forth. And so for Modern Warfare 4, what do I feel like would bring a lot of hype, at least out of me? Well, I know one, and this is a very little thing that I have to see out of this trailer and out of this reveal. There has to be that green bolt come across the screen that we've seen in all the other Modern Warfare games. That's just a signature piece of the game. Like having that little green bolt flash up, showing the Modern Warfare logo has to happen. That in itself could generate a lot of hype. They could honestly drop a 5-second reveal of just that, and that would gain a lot of hype in itself. But in terms of what I want to see out of the official trailer, that's going to be roughly a couple minutes long, what do I want to see? It's honestly pretty simple. I'd love to see just a great mix of new and old. We're 8 years removed now from the last Modern Warfare game, and it's going to be pretty silly to expect things to be exactly how they were back in that time. However, if you're going to pay homage to that series and go back to it, it would also be silly to think that everything would be completely different. And so idealistically, what I would love to see out of this trailer, watching it for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, however long it goes, I want to look at it and have the feeling of, wow, that is what I would imagine Modern Warfare to be in this day and age. Essentially, if you were to show me a trailer for this game without telling me what it was for, giving any indication what game it was, what I would want is to look at it and go, wow, that looks a lot like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare series if it was put out today. That's the exact kind of imagery that I want painted out of this first reveal. I want to see some familiar guns. I want to hear that enemy AC-130 above, tactical nuke incoming. I want to hear all that stuff rain alongside some hype music, a ton of gunshots going off. That is what I want out of this reveal. To me, it's got to be that good mix of old and new stuff. I want to hear and see certain things that flash me back to that period of time, but I want to see some new things as well in there that are getting me hyped, like, wow, how is that going to work with this game? I know when Black Ops 4 was revealed in the multiplayer trailer when we saw it for the first time, that as soon as I saw Specialist, I'm like, great, this is going to cause a ton of controversy. People are not going to be happy about this. And of course, you saw things like razor wire and tac deploys. Like, there was a lot of stuff that just, you know, is going to cause a lot of controversy, and I'm hoping none of those things pop up in this game. I really would just love a classic Call of Duty to be transformed into what Call of Duty is today. I don't want it to be just like those games of the past, but I want to have that nostalgia kind of go off in my head and be able to like have flashbacks to what things were back in the day while I'm seeing this brand new game. I'm not sure how much we're going to see, if we're going to see anything directly from multiplayer, if it's just going to be like kind of just some random gunfights that could be from like the campaign. Who knows exactly what we're gonna see, but I want to know it's the Modern Warfare series without you even having to tell me. Man, it's got to be recognizable. It's got to feel like that original Modern Warfare series to me. I don't expect it to be just like those games or play like those games exactly necessarily, but I want to have that same feeling from those games in a way brought back into this one. This was just something running through my mind the other day. I just started thinking about like, what would be one thing I would want to see out of this trailer that would just put me all in hype mode for this next game. And for me, it was pretty simple. Like, I want to see that flashing green bolt just to kind of put confirmation on everything. But for me, it's pretty simple, and the best way to put it is I want old and new mixed together and done right, done perfectly. It's got to be the Modern Warfare series, but with a lot of the good advancements that Call of Duty has made since the last time we saw it back in 2011. I feel like the first trailer, the first impression is something that's pretty big for the games and pretty big for generating a lot of the hype for Call of Duty. Like, man, back in Call of Duty Ghosts, like, we even had the Eminem song playing in the background of the trailer. Like, it didn't get more hype than that. Like, you had a brand new sub-series that kind of had a Modern Warfare vibe to it, but it was a brand new genre. It looked really cool being Call of Duty Ghosts. I want that same kind of hype back. I don't want this to just be another simple trailer. I don't want it to just be, you know, some modern militaristic gunfights and, you know, just a flash of the Modern Warfare logo. Like, it's gotta feel like the game. And I'm hoping we see it here pretty soon. From everything I've seen over on Twitter the last few days or so, it looks like people have been flown out to play it. Hollow Point and Chaos X Silencer looked like they had just gotten flown out yesterday. I tweeted about it a little bit. By the way, if you guys aren't following me, link down below in the description. But it looks like they've been flown out to play. Hopefully they've been capturing some gameplay. I'm not sure why else they would bring out YouTubers to play the game if they weren't able to bring gameplay back. But we are right on the cusp of something happening, and this is really just what I want to see out of this reveal for me. It's kind of simple, it's kind of broad, but overall for me, that's just what I want to feel. I want to know that the game is Modern Warfare without even having to be told what it is. I want some great hype music that sets the mood with it as well. I want a great trailer this time around, because I feel like it'll really help set the stage and set the tone for everything else that's to come this year. Anyway, down below in the comments, this is where I want to hear from you guys. What is one thing in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 reveal trailer that you've got to see that will hype you up for this upcoming game? Is it a certain type of music? Is there a certain flash of a previous character you want to see? Is there a certain gun from the old Modern Warfare games that you want to see somehow in this trailer? Do you want to see supply drops coming left it? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smack the Schmidt at a like button down below. If you guys enjoy looking from content, you can press the subscribe button down below as well. Notifications on videos go live. Hope you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.